TitleMatchNetwork.com.
How did you wind up in TNA?
Been friends with Jeff for 100 years.
Right. Whose idea was it to feud with the X Division guys when you first came in there?
It was mine. It was always an idea that Madden that was with
Mark Madden.
Yeah, Madden always said that it was one of his ideas. It was the cruiserweight bully, and Scott Hall used to pitch it every television. Like it would be like Eric would be going over to finish something, and Scott would say, "How about the cruiserweight bully?" And Eric would be like, oh, "This cruiserweight bully thing." So it was Madden's idea originally, and I think it would have worked if I'm just so beat up,
right?
You know, it's funny. In my mind, I can still go, but I can't.
Body-wise,
I can't. I could work, like I said, there's certain guys I could work with.
Right.
You know, there's certain guys I could work with. But those guys, those young, quick, athletic guys.
Is that part of the reason why you never had your match, I guess the blow-off match with Saban? Because of that?
I had my shoulder operated on.
Yeah, that's right.
But I didn't want to do a job. So I fired. I said, you know what, I can do a job, or I go under the knife and not wake up and maybe never see my wife and son again. I'm just not going to do the job.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I guess, how do you answer critics who say that you've done nothing but hurt the credibility, again, of the X Division guys?
I don't see how I did. I'd never beat anybody straight up. I cheated. I came in and beat them up after they lost matches.
Right.
It's the perception is this.
People don't understand the business, number one.
Yeah, but it's just like, okay, why does it work? It works because you actually fucking kind of hate me. I'm a big bully.
Right.
You know, I come across like that. So guess what? Then it's time for me to give it back. You know, and I could have worked. I could have worked super strong with those guys and not given them anything.
Right.
You know, I mean, I tried to give them something to show that they were more athletic than I was. But I just couldn't give them the match that I could have 5 years ago. So that was where, you know, I should have just grounded them. I should have pounded them and grounded them. I should have just beat the fuck out of all of them. You know, I should have just done that. Went through them. Because honestly, this is what I tell people. Okay, it's a shoot. Which one of those guys kicks my ass? None.
Right.
None. I hit one of those guys with one shot. What are they going to do?
It's true.
So what are we talking about? I kill the credibility? How do I kill the credibility of it?
I see.
There's a reason why nobody knows who the fuck Ring of Honor is.
You can go into that.
You know, there's a reason nobody knows who it is. Who are they? I don't know who they are. I know there's half of our guys, but I only know our guys because our guys are on TV. I don't know who those guys are. But you know what? When I watch Alex Shelley and Sanjay do that cool chain wrestling shit that they do,
right?
I think that's amazing.
I was going to ask you, what are your thoughts on some of the guys? You know,
I think those guys are amazing. I'm such a fan of those guys, of Alex and of Saban and Sanjay and Jay, but I think that what you have to do is, you know, there's a reason why people don't go to Iowa State and watch. They'll watch it there in Iowa, but you put that on national TV, ain't nobody going to watch it. You can't even get people to watch fucking hockey on TV.
Going back to the X Division guys, like you just mentioned all those guys' names, do you feel that they need to learn more psychology and
I think so.
Spot, and tell a story more in the ring?
But I think they're learning.
Right. I was going to ask you, are you helping these guys?
I point out little tiny things like, you know, somewhere in that match, you've got to do a double down.
Right.
You know, just a double down, crawl over, 1-2, kick out. Just occasionally, but if nothing, you can't get kicked in the. I mean, but at the same time, they're not given enough time to do it. When Saban worked with Sensei in Detroit with the Cruiser, they had a great match. You know, they had a really good match because they had 22 minutes to tell a story where they could sell. We got an hour TV and 900 guys on it. It looks like a fucking swarm of bees half the time.
What do you think is going to happen when you guys get the second hour?
I think it's going to vastly improve our show.
Good.
I think that our talent is really, really good. Our young talent's incredibly. I mean, there's some really and the guys. Some of the guys. I mean, I think Shelley's a breakthrough guy. You know, he gets it. He gets the shtick. He can work 3 or 4 different styles.
What are your thoughts on Joe? Samoa Joe.
He's like, I like Joe because he's like so uniquely different. You know, he's not the big. You know, for a while, every guy, I call it the Ohio Valley Express.
Cookie cutter look.
Yeah, the bodybuilding, just big gassed up guy with he's tatted from head to toe.
Right.
I mean, that's every guy that was in that, whatever that was.
Yeah,
OVW, right? Yeah, everybody was just this big tatted up bodybuilder. And it was just like every guy that came in, you know, had these horrible prison tattoos all over. And I was just like, God, you know, uncle. And then I saw Joe, and I was just like, okay, now there's a completely, and his work's believable.
Definitely.
You know? And he's a sweetheart. He's a great guy.
What are your thoughts on Kurt Angle?
I mean, he's one of the few guys when I left that I would still watch on WWE programming.
Believable.
He's believable, but he's funny.
Exactly.
I mean, he's a good character. He's very entertaining, and he's got great credibility.
Do you feel that TNA can compete with WWE one day, or do you think they're just two different animals? And
no, I think that they can. I think that it's a slow process. I think the Cars are doing a good job. I mean, they're not just spending money, and you know they're keeping within a budget. They're keeping. I think that they've actually turned a profit the last couple of months, from what I've heard. You know, so I mean, I think that they've got a business plan. I think that they're that the progression and growth is slow but steady. No, I like being part of TNA. I mean, I'm really excited for them.
What were your thoughts on Dusty's booking run in TNA?
That was horrible.
Why is that?
It just was. It was so dated. You know, it's number one. Your demographic it's Fox Sports Network, so it's only in like the 27 largest metropolitan areas is who's actually getting the programming. So in other words, you're in urban. You're doing an urban show. That's where it's being shown. And your commissioner's on a hay bale in the back of a pickup truck with Daisy Duke girls. I mean, number one, if you don't even know what your demographic is that you're selling to, I mean, that alone would have just told me, okay, this guy is completely clueless. But you know, he beat every babyface except his son.
Yeah. How do you like working with Jay Lethal?
I like Jay. He's a sweetheart of a kid. Good
Super.
Attitude. He's a good athlete. And you know, people say, you know, well, how does he? You know, you guys have pigeonholed him now. He's in this. No, man. It's just like when Glenn did the Diesel character,
Isaac, yeah.
But he did the Diesel character afterward.
Yes.
And he learned to work like I did. Then he did like he did the Taker brother thing and learned. So he learned like 2 different styles of 2 different guys that have both been successful. Then from that got his own. Sometimes you got to put somebody, you know, Jay's 19, 20 years old.
Young. Yeah.
It's just like, dude, it's not like he's 42 years old. We made it. We made him the black machine and all. He's young. Sometimes you got to teach a guy to be a character in order to find somewhere out of there. He'll find his own character.
Whose idea was all that?
I watched him do it. I watched him do the character one day. He was doing. They all the young guys do these incredible phone pranks.
Right.
You know, they call people, and you know they'll call 900 numbers, and Sanjay will be the Indian guy, and they're really funny. I mean, they just amuse themselves. So they were doing the Macho. Macho was calling different guys, and I said, "Guy," but when he does it, you know, he does all the mannerisms.
Yeah, Jay's created
that. You know, so just like, so I said to him, I said, "Can you like?" I said, "How much?" He said. So next time I saw him, he like went out in the ring and did the punches and threw somebody off and did the elbow.
Right.
And I said, "Fuck!" I said, "This is perfect. We can, we'll run with this."
Randy actually called him up too.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So, and I heard that Randy said it was, was cool. Whatever. I'd love it if somebody could emulate me that well and do me that well and be athletic and.
TitleMatchNetwork.com